And this broadcast brought to you by 106th Street Tire and Wheel. Get your automotive stuff done at 106th Street Tire and Wheel, located in Corona, New York, 113658. We are officially live here at True to New York Sports Studio. And in all honesty, Billy, as much as I want to be excited about the show, there are a few things that we have to just say. The season's over. Yankees lost. The Mets are out. There's no more New York baseball for quite a while now. And it's been, in my opinion, a very disappointing year for both New York and for the Mets and the Yankees.
It has been, but you know what? Let's start the show off the right way and talk about it. We do have our World Series matchup set. It is what I like to call the FU New York World Series. It's the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Houston Astros. It's going to be a good series. I'm going to talk as a baseball fan here for a minute. It is going to be a good World Series. The Phillies are the blueprint for the team that got hot at the right time. And that's just what it is. They came out at the beginning of the year. They fired Joe Girardi. They brought in Rob Thompson. Rob Thompson, who has been a coach. He's been a coach back with the Yankees since 2008. Then went with Girardi to the Phillies. He takes over the team on an interim basis after they fired Girardi. He has now earned a contract as the manager there, which I think is great. And he helped turn that team around. He lit a fire under that team. And a team that I never thought could last in the postseason, mainly because their bullpen was terrible. The bullpen has come around. They moved Zach Efron into like the closer's role there, and he's become a weapon. Syndergaard even pitched great out of the bullpen the other day when they needed. They just happen to be that team where everything's going right at the right time. And then you have the Astros. Say what you want about the Astros. We all have our things to say about the Astros. They are a damn good baseball team. They are an organizational blueprint that we all wish our teams were following because they do it right. And they just keep developing. They have excellent scouts. They have an excellent front office. They have a great manager in Dusty Baker. They continue to turn out great players, and they continue to win. And we're going to get right into it right now talking about winning. That's not what the Yankees did at all. The New York Yankees, Lou, I'm going to be honest with you. They failed. They imploded. The Yankees failed. I came on here the last 2 weeks ago, and I ripped the Mets for failing. And I'm going to do the same thing tonight. I am objective and I am real. I'm not one of those guys that walked around bad mouthing the Mets. Never did it. When the Mets failed, I said they failed. When the Mets did great, I complimented them.
Yeah.
Flex, they didn't cheat in this series. They outplayed us. And that's why I'm as calm as I am right now. Because you know what? I'm at peace with the fact that the better team won. And that's the truth. Do I wish I was sitting here talking about that the Yankees pulled out, that there was still life, that we were seeing Game 5 tonight? Absolutely. But it wasn't in the cards. After the first 3 games, the Yankees didn't even deserve to be playing anymore. Let's get real. Because offensively, those first 3 games out of the New York Yankees was as horrible as I've seen.
I mean, Billy, the one thing I will say with this series is that, it wasn't even that it was only the hitting. It was a combination of both, right? So the fact that the bullpen blew up some runs, we had a huge error that cost us literally the game yesterday. We scored no runs the other day. It was just a combination of everything. And you know what? There was a stat that they said that over the last 5 years, the teams who have hit the most home runs in a game in the playoffs are 128-2. Okay. Now, you would think the Yankees, being one of the better teams in the league that can hit home runs with the most powerful home run hitter in the world at the moment, might be able to pull off some wins. Billy, we didn't just lose to the Houston Astros, Billy. We got embarrassed by the Houston Astros.
Embarrassed is putting it mildly. The Yankees went in there, and, we go through the same song and dance a lot here. And it's always the Yankees pitching fails at the biggest moments. Guess what? It didn't happen. Because say what you want. Garrett Cole had a very good postseason.
No, Garrett Cole had 2 great games he pitched for us against the Guardians, and listen, he gave up one bad hole. He gave up was he the one that gave up a 3-run shot? Was that him? He gave up a 3-run. No,
Cole gave up a solo home run.
Then Severino gave up the 3-run shot.
Severino gave up the 3-run shot, and then Nesta gave up one yesterday to Pena to tie the game. Garrett Cole pitched well. The bullpen, for the most part, pitched well. Except for yesterday, Nesta pitched well. The thing that worries me now, Nesta leaves the game hurt last night, and you have to wonder, and you're going to wonder this all year, was the 3 days rest going into Game 5 on 3 days rest against the Guardians, did that have any effect on him physically? It's something he's never done. He's pitched more innings than he never had this year. It's a question that you got to answer.
Yeah.
You know what? This implosion is not on any one person. And that's the biggest thing you have to understand here. This starts at the top. This starts at the construction of this roster, the management of this roster, and the players themselves. Everyone is to blame for this implosion by the New York Yankees, except very few people. And I can name those people real fast. Number one guy you're not blaming for any of this, Harrison Beta.
No.
Garrett Cole, you're not blaming for any of this. Nestor Cortez, you're not blaming for any of this.
Nope.
Severino, you're not blaming for any of this.
No.
I'm not even blaming Jameson Taillon. You know, to me, the Yankees, things need to change. And that's a big thing. We're going to get into this as the night goes on. But the Astros deserve credit here. The Astros came through at every big moment. It broke my heart last night, to say the best. I mean, I went from the highest to highs. I had 4 heart attacks and Heartline twice during the fucking Giant game. And then I go to this. And it killed me that I knew once IKF, because that was not Gleyber Torres' error at second base. That was on IKF. He should have maneuvered to get the ball. Again, another error in a big moment from him. Mm-hmm. And then what did the Astros do? Come up with 2 hits to make that error worth something.
Right. Yeah, no, Billy, it was, but that was just the icing on the. Billy, listen, the Yankees could have won that game yesterday, and after that error from IKF, and no,
because you just knew they weren't going to come back.
100%.
No, there was no heart. There was no sense of urgency at all. This team looked dead for the most part.
They did. Mm-hmm.
This team looked like going 5 games with the Guardians took whatever life they had out of them. And I don't know what it is. I mean, everybody wants – this is not all on Aaron Judge. I'll tell you that right now.
No, but Billy, and you got to realize something. Come playoff time, you have Josh Donaldson, who's had experience. You've had Anthony Rizzo, who's had experience. You've had Giancarlo Stanton, who's had experience. It wasn't like these guys haven't had experience in the playoffs before. No, but everyone has.
Rizzo, Stanton, those guys had some hits. Along with Beta, they were the only guys for the most part offensively that showed a goddamn pulse. Aaron Judge is number 1 on the list, but you can't put it all on him.
No, I'm not putting it all on him.
I'm not saying you are. But let me explain something to everybody who made this might have been lost because it seems like an eon ago. Aaron Judge has been in a slump for over a month. I don't know if you realize this. Look how long it took him to get from 60 to 61, from 61 to 62, and then it carried over into the postseason. He looked exhausted, whatever it is. No excuses. Aaron Judge did not come through here. But in the same respect, the Yankees are not where they are. The Yankees were not in the American League Championship Series without Aaron Judge. And if you think anything differently, you should shut this show off right now because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Billy, if it wasn't for Aaron Judge, they wouldn't have even probably been in the playoffs. They probably would have even been in the playoffs. In my opinion, without Aaron Judge.
No, probably. They wouldn't have been.
They would have been a 500 team at best. At best. At best.
I mean, what Aaron Judge did and what Aaron Judge has meant to this organization cannot be downplayed. Did Aaron Judge come through here? No. Is Aaron Judge going to have to answer now until he does something, Aaron Judge is going to have to answer the Alex Rodriguez questions. Is he just a good regular season player? Can he do it in the postseason? Because he never has. It's not just this postseason. Aaron Judge struggles.
Right. Yeah. No, very true. And he's a career 215 postseason batting average now.
Exactly. And then you go down the line. Donaldson did absolutely nothing. I believe he set the major league record for most strikeouts, most multiple strikeout games in a playoff series.
Mm-hmm.
But then you could point it at Cabrera, Glaber, IKF, either one of the catchers. Nobody came through.
Yeah.
It's on the offense. You know what? I've also got a major gripe where it's on the manager. Because going into last night's game, the last 8 games the Yankees played this season, they had 8 different lineups.
Right.
There is no consistency whatsoever. Aaron Judge needs to be hitting third. Alex Rodriguez said it best last week. Aaron Judge needs to be put in the third hole of your lineup. You left there. You build your lineup around Judge. Let him get up there. Let him see some pitches. Let him see what's going on. Let him get a feel and let him drive in runs. Aaron Judge is here to hit home runs, drive in runs, and get big hits. That's not what your leadoff hitter and no.
You're realistically your 1 and 2 guy is supposed to be the guys that get on base for your 3, 4, 5 hitters.
Exactly. Look what look at the successful Yankee teams. Look what they had at the top of that lineup. Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill, Chuck Knobloch, all those guys at the top of the order setting the table for the middle of the lineup to come up and drive in runs. The Yankees need to get over trying to be the smartest person in the room. Because guess what? You're not. Your way is not working. It's just not. It has not worked in a long time. Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone came out last season, and they turned around and said, oh, you know what? People don't fear the Yankees anymore. That time has come and gone. That time's been gone for a long time. You know what? The Yankees now fear the Houston Astros. And that's the reality because the Houston Astros are better than the New York Yankees. And there has to be change. There has to be an organizational change. And no, I'm not saying go out and fire everybody. Go out. You have to get better. Everybody's out there now. Get rid of Brian Cashman. Okay. With who? Show me how you get rid of Brian Cashman and get better. Don't tell me Derek Jeter anymore because with all due respect to Derek Jeter, that's not the answer. You don't replace a man who hasn't had a losing season in 25 years with a guy who's never been even an assistant GM for a day. That's not how you get better. You want to get better. The one name that comes to the top of my head right now, you tell me you want to replace Cashman and get better, get me Theo Epstein on the goddamn phone or shut up and give Cashman a contract and get this team back because you're not getting better. Change for the sake of change makes no sense whatsoever. You want to get rid of Aaron Boone? Okay. Get better. I'm not getting rid of Aaron Boone to hire Skip Schumacher or somebody else's bench coach. Guess what? We're in New York. This is the Yankees. It is time that the Yankees mean something again. We're not the friggin' Pittsburgh Pirates where we're going to go out and hire broadcasters out of the booth anymore like we did with Aaron Boone because that's not working. You want to do it? Okay. Get me some. You want to bring in Don Mattingly to manage the Yankees? I'm fine with that. Don Mattingly has a proven track record as a manager. That's getting better. We're not taking a step backwards here. The Yankees, with the payroll the Yankees have and the talent the Yankees do have and the decisions they have to make this offseason, no, you retool and you change your organizational philosophy. You don't blow it up and go and all of a sudden become a glorified minor league team. You don't become a quadruple A team and start bringing in bench coaches who have never managed a game before or announcers who you thought would be great. It's not the way to get better. Look at the Houston Astros. They went through the whole crap with the cheating. They got rid of Brad Willis. They brought in Dusty Baker, an experienced manager, a man that could navigate through this, got them through that storm, and look how great they are for it. Let this sink in for a second, guys. Alex Bregman, one of the biggest reasons the Astros are going to the World Series right now, has been in the big leagues for 6 years. Do you know Alex Bregman has never not been to the ALCS in his career? Think about that.
Crazy.
Think about that for a second. But just get better. That's what the objective is here. It's not to just go out and replace guys who got just for the sake of doing it. Get better. You want to make some moves? You want to trade Gleyber Torres? Okay. Trade Gleyber Torres. Show me how it makes the team better. Yep. You want IKF gone off this team? Okay. Let's make the team better. We're not going to replace IKF with somebody else's journeyman. No. Peraza's the shortstop next year. Volpe's the shortstop next year. We got rid of IKF. Okay. You're making improvements. That's where the problem is here. We went out last offseason, and what did we do? We replaced Brett Gardner with Marwin Gonzalez. High shit, meet shit. That's what we did.
Right. Yeah, no, then Billy, and just to add on to that a little bit too, the problem that the Yankees have, and this is just obviously my opinion, is that there's too many players that do exactly the same thing. And the fact that Aaron Boone switched up the lineup almost every single game, right? And we saw it in the middle of the year. We saw it during the year too, that every single game, this lineup was different. There was no consistency. There was no that this is your job. This is what you have to do. This is how we're going to approach the game. It was always whoever just hit a home run. It was that's always how it's been with this team. And obviously it's not working because we haven't been to the World Series since freaking 2009 in the first place. So obviously there needs to be some kind of change
here.
The
reason why is the Yankees have gone on for too long now doing the same thing. And you know what? Some of the fans have even become okay with this. Just make the playoffs.
It's not good enough anymore.
It never was good enough. Go back and watch old episodes of the show when I was yelling at people and saying it will be in the. No, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
You want to lose. I'm not going to be the guy that's going to say, yeah, we need to win or go to the World Series every year or it's a failure. No. You lose the ALCS in 7 competitive games. I can live with that. What went on out here because you put the same team. No, that's not good enough. What they went out and did. The Matt Carpenter, bringing Matt Carpenter back was a debacle. You brought a guy who had a 37-year-old, mind you. We're not talking about a young guy. You brought a 37-year-old guy back who hadn't faced live pitching in 2 months and put him in the starting lineup against Justin Verlander in game 1. What did you think was going to happen?
Right.
This isn't the movies. We're not writing comeback stories here.
Right.
This is real life. And you went out there and you did not put your team in the best position to win by doing things like that. You put Peraza on this roster after you benched IKF in Game 5 of the Cleveland series. After in Game 1, when Hicks got hurt, you put Marwin Gonzalez into left field instead of bringing IKF in to play short and moving Cabrera back out to left field. No. What did you do? You put Marwin Gonzalez in left field and you left Cabrera at shortstop. Then you decided in Game 2, oh, you know what? Now Cabrera can go to left field and we're going to put Peraza at shortstop. Once you put Peraza in, he should have stayed there. And that's the biggest deal with the New York Yankees. The philosophy needs to change. And it's been going on there for years. They want to talk about developing players and developing this and developing that. And they don't actually give them a chance to develop. They did it this year with Florial. They couldn't give that kid 10 to 15 games to try to see what they had there, to see what he could do. But we can run Aaron Hicks back out there. We can run LeCastro out there. We could do anything you want. But we're not going to give the kid that we wouldn't trade when everybody else wanted him. No, we couldn't trade him. We had to keep him. But you won't let him play 10 games in center field. But last year you did the same thing for years with Clint Frazier. We know Clint Frazier has a skill. He has bat speed similar to Mike Trout. But yet every time he went 0 for 3, Brett Gardner was in the lineup the next day, hitting 170, and that was okay. But this guy could never get a fair chance of, here's left field, here's 20 games, do what you got to do, kid. And they're doing it now with Peraza. They waited so long to bring Peraza up into September. Then they wouldn't play him. They let IKF screw up every which way till Sunday, and they still wouldn't give this kid a chance. And I still believe the only reason they gave Cabrera a chance is because they had no choice.
Yeah. And to also kind of feedback off of what Billy's saying, look what the Houston Astros did with this kid Pena at shortstop. They decided to not sign Carlos Correa, decide to have Pena play the entire year, and now he's your ALCS MVP.
Exactly. Look at the Atlanta Braves. Look what the Braves did. Look at all the young talent.
Between Harris and Grissom, all those guys, they're actually putting them in games, letting them play.
Acuna, Ozzie Albies, Dansby Swanson, Austin Riley, Spencer Strider. The list goes on. Right. They let their guys play. Nobody's saying more, Steven. They need to get better.
Right.
There are holes on this team that need to be filled.
The Yankees need people who are going to do their jobs, and that's it. Having Aaron Judge be your leadoff hitter to your second hitter to your third hitter, moving Anthony Rizzo from the 5th spot to the leadoff spot to the 3rd spot. And we said this before. There's no roles on the Yankees. Nobody has any idea what they're supposed to do on this team. And the only smart thing that Aaron Boone did this entire series was move Harrison Bader to the first because he was the only fucking guy who could hit and get on base during this series.
You know what the sad thing is? I feel like they did it too late because you moved Bader out in the middle of the lineup when he was the only guy hitting. Right. He was the guy you wanted to really see up, was one of the guys besides Stanton or Rizzo that you wanted up with someone on base. But now you took that away from him by putting him in the leadoff spot when nobody else was producing. Again, it looked good, but it didn't make sense at the time.
And Frank, and that's what we're saying too, is that if you look at the 90s Yankees, look at the 96, 98, 99, 2000 Yankees, who on any of those teams was huge power home run hitters? And there wasn't.
The Yankee philosophy changed the day they signed Jason Giambi. Mm-hmm. That's when everything became different. But they have to find a medium. There's got to be a middle ground, and the Yankees need to get there.
Yeah, now, Bill, of course nobody was going to complain about that, but was it realistic that the Yankees were going to win 126 games? If you actually thought they were going to win that many games, you're fucking crazy.
No, and Bill, let me tell you where you're wrong, because you know what? When they were 77-32, they were getting timely hits, and they weren't just winning games with home runs. That's not true at all. The Yankees earlier this season, when some of those guys were hitting, they worked. And don't get me wrong, injuries killed this team this year. Am I saying they win the series if we had Benintendi and Carpenter didn't go out? No, I'm not. But I'm saying we're still playing today, I believe.
Yeah.
Am I saying that we had a much better bullpen before we lost Chad Green, Michael King, and Efros? Yes, I am.
Right.
That was a much better bullpen than what we ended up with. The Yankees did deal with a lot. And I'm sorry, before anybody wants to turn around, one guy that I don't feel should not be buried in this situation, I'm sorry, Brian Cashman deserves critique. Brian Cashman deserves heat. He doesn't deserve to be buried. Because remember, Brian Cashman was the guy that got Harrison Bader, where everybody else, and a lot of people in this chat room right now, like, what the hell is he doing? Monty. And you know what? Every one of us here loves Harrison Bader right now. And if you say you don't, you're full of shit.
Right. And not only that, we don't even get out of the Guardian series without Harrison Bader.
Absolutely. Brian Cashman went out and got us Efros, who was a damn good relief pitcher for us before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He got us the second best starting pitcher available. It's not his fault that Frankie Montas got hurt.
And also was absolutely awful whenever he pitched for us too.
He was hurt.
Yeah,
he was still hurt.
But that's also on New York back office not taking him before they cleared him for fucking injury. That's also that too, because then we should have never had him in the first place.
Are we going to judge that game in 20 games? I don't know. Half of you were ready to put Montgomery in Monument friggin' Park right after the trade was made, but now are we going to judge it in 20 games? Right now, as we sit here today, that Harrison Bader trade was a good trade for the New York Yankees. It could be a trade at the end of the day that both teams end up winning, and Montgomery goes on to be successful, and Bader becomes successful here. Right now, as we sit here today, the Yankee offense is better for that trade. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Billy, let me ask you a question. The question that we have on the board right now is what's next for the Yankees? So, Billy, tell me, what is next for the Yankees? Do you think that the Yankees are going to definitely sign next year?
Do I want Aaron Judge back? Yeah, I mean, let's go right. Let's go right for the heart right now. Do I want Aaron Judge back here? Yes. I've been vocal about this all year long. At a price. And I don't care about the money. I don't care about the average annual. If he gets to 47 a year average annual, God bless him. It's the years. I do not want to see that contract go past 7-8 years tops.
Right.
And that's it. And you know what? If somebody blows us out of the water, I'm okay. Take that money and get better. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of names of guys that I would like to see that would make the Yankees indeed better.
Trey Turner.
No, I'm not shooting for the moon here. I'm going a little more realistic. Wilson Contreras. Get me that offensive, get me the catcher, improve the catching position, get better. You have 4 starting pitchers under contract for next year. They're going to pick up the option on Severino. So you have Cole, you have Montas, you have Severino, and you have Nesta. Give me Carlos Rodon. That would
he can opt out of that San Francisco.
He's going to opt out of He's gonna opt out of that contract, absolutely, with the Giants. I would love to see Rodon. And again, I'm not asking him to come in and be our number 2, middle of the rotation starter. Makes the Yankees better. Mm-hmm. Because, Bill, we've shot for the goddamn moon for the last 2 decades, and we miss every effing time. That's why. I want to build a team. I'm done superstar shopping. There's only one star. If we don't sign Aaron Judge, there's only one star I want the Yankees to go after. And I hope every Met fan's listening to it because I want Edwin Diaz.
Right.
The Yankees need a closer. I want the best closer out there.
Right. Yeah, and Derby, yeah, I'm actually glad you. I wasn't sure if I would ever see you again, Derby, because after the Yankees beat the Guardians, I was looking out for you, and you didn't pop up anywhere. You didn't pop up anywhere. And you know what, Billy? I think you're right too, because here's the thing. Let me ask you this now, Billy. Let me ask you a serious question, and this goes for the Mets fans too. What if the Yankees make an offer at Jacob deGrom?
I feel that you have to. I feel it's just logical baseball sense. Just like if the Mets or anybody else make an offer to Aaron Judge. Any team that can afford him and any team that has the spot for him on the field, make it. He's one of the best players in the game. How do you know? Bill, what were they doing with them at that point? You wanted an outfield of Judge, Stanton, and Bryce Harper? It wasn't realistic. They went after Garrett Cole. I wanted Freeman too, but you know what? The last 2 All-Star first basemen we brought here didn't work very well. I'm okay where we are.
And to be fair, not to interrupt you, Billy. To be fair, the Yankees got Giancarlo Stanton in 2019, and that was the year that he also got his contract with the Phillies, because that's the year that the Washington Nationals won the World Series, right? So the Yankees got him. The Yankees got Giancarlo Stanton in 2019. So you are not paying Giancarlo Stanton and Bryce Harper in the same year. You're just not getting both of those guys.
No, that's again. I'm looking to build a team here. That's what I want to see the Yankees do.
Right. No, I honestly think. Listen, as a Mets fan, real quick, if you are a Mets fan, your first priority in this offseason is to get Edwin Diaz back.
Yeah, I think Edwin Diaz
is the most valuable.
Is the most valuable one, probably the most valuable free agent out there.
Right, and he might be your first $100 million closer.
No, he's absolutely going to be. That's going to happen. I'd love to see Diaz be a Yankee.
Yeah.
You know what? The Yankees are going to need some bullpen arms. There's a lot. Zach Britton's a free agent. We know Chapman's gone. We're not going to see Efros next year.
No.
With Tommy John. I don't know if or when we're going to see Chad Green and Michael King next year.
Is Benintendi still with us next year?
No, he's a Benintendi. I would love
to sign him then.
I'd love to bring Benintendi back. I mean, if you bring back Aaron Judge and you bring back Benintendi, you have Benintendi, Bader, and Judge in the outfield. You have one of if not the best defensive outfield in baseball. That's a fact.
Right. Well, here's the thing, Bill, is that if the Yankees don't sign Judge, right, and let's say the Yankees sign Benintendi, your 1-2 right there for the Yankees are Benintendi and LeMahieu. That has to be your 1-2, in my opinion, going forward. If you sign Benintendi and let's say even you keep Judge, and you sign Benintendi, in my opinion, I would rather have Benintendi than Nimmo. All the way around, Benintendi than Nimmo. Not saying Nimmo's a bad leadoff hitter, but I think Benintendi.
Let me tell you something right now, Bill. I'm in the middle of both of you. I like it. I'd be happy with either one of them. If you told me that the Yankees ended up with Nimmo or Benintendi, I'd be happy with either one.
Yeah.
Yes, Diaz was fixed. That is absolutely the fact. And again, the Yankees need a closer. The Yankees need one starter, a closer.
I'll take Class A right now. What?
That's not even a question. But that's a few years off, Derby.
Right.
That's a few years off. He's still got a few years of team control. He's not going anywhere. But I mean, the two big names closer-wise on the free agent market are going to be Diaz and Kenley Jansen. I'd be okay with either one of them closing games for the Yankees.
Agreed. Now, have you given up total hope on Holmes?
As a closer, yes. Do I want him in my bullpen? Yes.
Right.
I think the best thing for everyone involved, for Holmes and for the Yankees, is to put him back where he was, 7th, 8th inning. I think that's
go from there. Yeah.
I think that's the best thing for everyone, and I think it makes the bullpen that much better. You sign a closer. You have Loaisiga and Holmes in front of him. I like it. Yeah, and Wandy. I mean, you can't stress how much of an important piece this postseason Wandy Peralta was.
Right.
But that's the thing. Everybody wants to talk the stars. No, I want to build a team here. You go into next year, you look at a team, you get Rizzo. Rizzo will be back. Rizzo's picking up that $16 million option. I believe it. Rizzo loves being a Yankee.
Yeah.
I'm okay. If you tell me we trade Gleyber Torres and make this team better, whether it's for an outfielder, a bullpen arm, something, I'm okay with it. Maybe Gleyber Torres can help us get rid of Donaldson's contract.
Right.
That would be huge.
Yeah. Yeah, Billy, I'm going to be honest with you, Billy. Gleyber, I thought he was supposed to be something special. I know he had something. He had a bad year last year. He came back. He had a good last 10, 15 games. I'll give him that. But there's just something not right.
No, I think the shuffling around in the lineup, and I think it's just gotten to him. I think Gleyber needs a fresh start. I'm not getting rid of Gleyber because I don't think he's good. I think it's best for everyone. I think the Yankees can get value there, and I think Gleyber could get a fresh start.
Jordan Montgomery. Who was the guy traded back for Bader?
The closer.
Oh, for Hader. You're talking about the closer for the Brewers now?
Yeah. It was
uh,
it was the other closer. It was their closer at the time. The kid from Minnesota. I forget his name.
yeah.
But I want to see between second base and shortstop next year a combination of 2 of the 3 between the 2 Oswaldos and Volpe.
Yeah.
One of them's my shortstop. One of them's my second baseman. If you go Volpe, Peraza in the middle of the infield, and Oswaldo Cabrera is like a super utility guy playing pretty much everywhere, getting 400 at bats, I love it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
I'd love Donaldson to be gone. I don't know if it's logical.
But Steven, you can't say that because Aroldis Chapman wasn't even in the freaking. He wasn't even in the series.
About where did big change come from anywhere?
We just said get better.
I'm talking about getting better at the same time, bringing back majority of the starting lineup. I'm talking about replacing the second baseman, and you're like, I don't even know where that comment came from. But if Josh Donaldson, you don't even have to. The best thing about Donaldson,
he is. He's gonna
career is available, but where? The only way I want to see Correa, I tell you right now, is if they could pull off the Alex Rodriguez and get Correa to play third base.
Right.
And you somehow got rid of Donaldson. I'd take that move any day of the week, but I don't believe
Torres and Donaldson for Correa.
No, he's a free agent. You don't need to trade for him.
Oh, right.
Minnesota's nobody that ever had Josh Donaldson has taken him back. Let's be real. But
right.
I mean, right there with this team, DJ goes right into third base. If you're not even looking to replace him.
Yeah.
And then your outfield, you need a left fielder, like you said, Nimmo, Benintendi. There are guys to be had out there. And I'll give you another name of someone I wouldn't mind seeing if Judge is gone, because I don't want too many of the same guys on this team. I wouldn't mind, and I don't think he'd cost a ton, Mitch Haniger from the Seattle Mariners. You put a guy like that, a lefty bat with that pop in Yankee Stadium, that guy could hit 35, 36 home runs, I believe. Yeah. I think he would be clutch. I mean, if Judge leaves, let's be real, Stanton's your right fielder. You play a combination of, you split time Haniger and Stanton between right field and DH, I'd love it. I think that would be a very good combination. And again, there you go, guys. We're not spending a ton of money. We're not going after everybody. The only all-star I mentioned adding to this team was Edwin Diaz. And you just made the team better. That's all you want to do is make them better.
Right.
I'm not looking to go out. I don't need everybody's all-star. I'm not, let's go out and go crazy for Ohtani. Well, remember something. If anybody watches this show, since August, I've been the one saying here, Ohtani is a great fit for the Mets.
And he didn't know. To be fair, he said if they lost Judge, you got to replace him with somebody.
Yes. Listen to half the conversation and then critique it. That's exactly what I said. If Judge comes back, no. Without Judge, I would like to see a guy like Mitch Haniger on this team.
Yeah. And let's be honest too, Billy. The Yankees this whole year, they're 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters. Absolutely atrocious. That obviously needs to get better, as you're saying. And it starts. And I couldn't agree with you more. I honestly think that bringing in young guys to look at what the Astros are doing. Did everybody hear what Billy said?
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Right.
I just added 3 young guys to our everyday mix.
Right. And listen, Billy just said the Astros have made the ALCS 6 times in a row. In 2017, they had George Springer, they had Carlos Correa, they had Garrett Cole, and they still made it to the same spot every single year. Think about that. Usually when you lose 3 of your top 5 players, usually you don't do as well. And they're still getting there.
That's the thing. You have to look to get better. That's all it really could. It's not rocket science. Somebody comes in and goes 10 years on Judge. You let him go, and you take that money and turn it into 3 or 4 guys that make you a better team.
Right. It's like Moneyball. When they lost Giambi and they lost Johnny Damon, they said we need an OPS that equals up to these average. They did it, and they won 100 games. They won 100 games that year. It's crazy.
Yeah, they did, Bill. They lost 100 games 4 years in a row while they were building the franchise. The same thing the Washington Nationals did. And when the Washington Nationals did that, what did they turn it into? Strasburg, who was great before he couldn't stay on the field, Harper, Trey Turner, and Juan Soto. So yeah, that's what happens sometimes when you're not the Pittsburgh Pirates and you don't trade everybody away in their first arbitration year.
Right.
And you let guys develop in your, and that's what the Yankees need to do. The Yankees need to stop talking about developing, and they need to do it. The Yankees need to get, you know what? You want to start developing pitching. It's not like get guys in there. If you need to make changes, maybe that's where the changes need to come. Maybe the changes need to come in the player development department or Brian Cashman's ops and analytics people. Maybe those are where you need to make some changes. Because, again, another great move Cashman made this year. We all loved the Trevino move in the beginning of the year. Trevino, he was an all-star. Trevino made the all-star team. He died in the second half. We know he's not your answer at catcher. I would love to have him back as your backup catcher. But Brian Cashman hasn't done anything worth firing him over. It's not this. It's bigger than that. There needs to be a change in philosophy. There needs to be a change in player development. Those changes need to be made.
And Billy, not for nothing, the last 20 years, how many good prospects have the Yankees had that they've absolutely butchered, right? Phil Hughes, Jabba Chamberlain. Like, those are just two pitchers off the top of my head that they totally demolished that were supposed to be up and coming.
I won't say they demolished Hughes because remember one thing. The Yankees don't win the 2009 World Series without Phil Hughes in the bullpen. And the following year, he followed that up, went back to the rotation and won 18 games. So, I mean, the Yankees got some good out of Phil Hughes.
Clint Frazier, another one.
Like, I mean, they didn't. Yeah, I mean, they traded for him, and again, it's the back and forth of not letting the guys play. They got to give these kids a shot. If you're right now, if you want to look at them and they want to say, no, we don't believe in Florial. He's not right. He's not it. Trade him before he ends up in a Gary Sanchez dump somewhere down the line because you destroyed his value. If you don't believe in him anymore, get rid of him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't even really listen. Bill, not even to like say you're wrong. I wouldn't say you're wrong, but Severino has only really had 1.5 decent years with us before he got hurt.
And Severino came back this year. He pitched well. What did he go? Right. 7-3 with a 3.18 ERA, I believe. Severino came back this year and did well. I think the Yankees did. I have no complaints about Jordan Montgomery. The Yankees' development of Jordan Montgomery was fine. Jordan Montgomery was never drafted nor heralded to be a top of the rotation starter.
Right. Yeah, well, that no shit.
Yes, that's why we're talking about contact hitters,
right.
And we're not talking about guys that hit 210. That's why I want to replace them. Look at the numbers on guys like Peraza and Volpe, the guys who I'm talking about replacing them with. Look at the numbers on Benintendi and Nimmo, the guys I'm talking about signing. Look at the numbers on Wilson Contreras, another guy I said to sign. So, yes, I am talking about signing guys that hit, not guys that go up there and all or nothing.
Right. Yep. Agreed. And again, it comes down to small ball, guys. It comes down to small ball. The Yankees just couldn't do that against the Astros. They just couldn't do it against them. They scored 2 runs, 3 runs, 0 runs, and 5 runs. You're not winning a World Series scoring 10 runs in 4 games. Simple as that. You're not winning a World Series scoring 10 runs.
Except for yesterday, the Astros didn't beat our pitching up.
No.
They scored 6 runs yesterday, but they didn't beat our pitching up at all. Our pitching held up.
Yep. They sure did. All right, and now this goes into Yankees and Mets early offseason outlooks. Billy, talk to me. We were talking a little bit about this. But what direction do you honestly think the Mets are going to go toward and the Yankees are going to go toward?
I mean, the biggest question with the Mets, like I said, to me, the Mets' number one priority should be Diaz. I don't believe it's going to be, though. I think it's DeGrom. We know the Mets are going to make the biggest offer. Is it what he wants is the only question in my eyes. I have no doubt whatsoever that Steve Cohen is going to open the pocketbook and give DeGrom pretty much what he wants on as far as average annual value goes. It's a matter of if he wants to be here. There's going to be no shortage. I guarantee now, especially they brought in Bochy, Texas is going to be in on him. I think San Francisco is going to be on him. The Angels may be on him. You can never count the Dodgers out. I mean, they just print money somewhere in Chavez Ravine stadiums. I don't know what the hell they got going on in the basement of that place. But there's good. The Braves are rumored to be in on him. There's going to be – the Yankees have to make a phone call. I mean, you have to. You're stupid if you don't. There's going to be no shortage of teams that are going to be after DeGrom. It's really going to be a matter of where he wants to be.
No, let me ask you, Met fans, real quick, a quick question. Is it more of a kick in the face if DeGrom signs with the Yankees or the Mets? Sorry, if the Yankees or the Braves. Is it more of a kick in the face of the Yankees or the Braves?
It's the Yankees, no question. Because that means he didn't want out of New York. He wanted away from the Mets.
Right.
It is much more.
Frank, but you want to know what you want to know? Here's the one thing that I try to tell people is that he might not be worth the value on paper, but he's going to make up the money in ticket sales and merchandise sales astronomically.
I happen to agree with Frank. I mean, you have to make the phone call to see, but as a Yankee fan, I don't want him. I just you look in the crystal ball of what could go wrong there, and to me,
that's why he would fit in perfectly with the Yankees.
But again, we can't talk about changing the philosophy and say that's what we want. That's what we want to do.
No, of course, I'm just joking about that. I'm just saying.
You're not changing your philosophy and going there. I don't want to see that. But the Mets, like I said, the Mets have a lot of work to do. The Mets could potentially be looking for 4 starting pitchers. They have the money. I'm not talking money here. It's work. The Mets. They basically 4 starting pitchers in an entire new bullpen, except for Joely Rodriguez. That's what really and a center fielder.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if the Mets go after Carlos Rendon.
They're absolutely going to.
Yeah.
The Mets are going to be in probably on every starting pitcher available, as they should be when you're looking for 3, potentially 4 of them. You need to be in, especially on the guys at the top. And they're definitely going to be in on Rodon if they were to lose DeGrom. They should absolutely be in on these guys. I want to see him be a Yankee as a Yankee fan. But sure. I believe there's a real good chance he could be a Met as well. If not Nimmo, who?
Benintendi.
No, you're not signing Benintendi. If you wouldn't let Benintendi's not your center fielder.
Yeah.
The Mets need to, the difference is the Yankees could sign Nimmo and move him to left field.
Mm-hmm.
The Mets need Nimmo as their center fielder.
In an ideal situation, Met and Yankee fans, what I would like to see, the Yankees sign Judge. Okay, I would love to see Yankees see Judge. I would love for Aaron Judge to redeem himself in a playoff situation with the Yankees. I would love to see it. I'd honestly, the Mets, listen, just because the Angels signed Ohtani to an extension doesn't mean you can't trade for him. The Angels are 100%, especially if they're not doing well next year.
It's a 1 year. It's not even an extension. It's a 1 year contract for this coming season.
They're going to wind up trading him because you're not losing Ohtani and not getting nothing out of it. You're just not. And Ohtani, and somebody actually recommended this, which I kind of can see, is if you really want to savor Ohtani, if the Mets got Ohtani, you move Ohtani to the bullpen, and then you have him be your everyday batter, which I could totally see happening. You don't think you can see that as he gets older, Billy?
Maybe not right now. If you sign Ohtani, he is your number 2 starter. If he's replacing DeGrom, your number 3 starter if DeGrom comes back. But I got an even better one for you. Say the Mets lose DeGrom. Say they can pull off a trade for Ohtani. Now Steve Cohen has money, and it's not our money, so let's have fun with it for a minute. What if the Mets make a phone call and get Trey Turner to move back to center field?
Oh, shit.
What if Trey Turner becomes your center fielder?
Bill, I'm going to tell you right now, Bill, Trout is way past his prime. I know he had a good rest of the year. He's having these back issues now. I would not put my eggs in a basket for Mike Trout. I wouldn't.
I don't think that's the move they make now. They're not going to get rid of both in the same year or anything like that. I don't think they're trading Trout. I think that's a little far off. I think you may see Trout in the left field next year, but I don't think they're trading him. But I think the Mets realistically, I mean, it's been rumored all over the place that Trey Turner wants to come back to the East Coast, that he's not going back to the Dodgers. The Phillies have been, I mean, everything I've seen is that Trey Turner to the Phillies looks promising.
I could totally see him.
Why not the Mets? When he came up, remember, Ian Desmond was still a shortstop, and Ian Desmond was still a damn good shortstop, and he played center field, and he played it well.
Yeah.
What's the worst he could say?
No.
I'm not interested.
Right.
That would be one hell. If you turned around, lost DeGrom, but turned it into Ohtani and Trey Turner, that's a great start to your offseason right there.
I mean, considering, listen, not for nothing, guys. Billy and I said this for the last 4 months. The Mets didn't do enough at the All-Star break, hitting-wise. You had the pitching, and we said exactly what was going to happen in the Mets playoffs. If your pitching was not good, you guys were going to be in trouble. And the pitching wasn't good. It wasn't good enough. And that's why you need more than freaking Vogelback as your best guy that you got at the All-Star break. You need more hitters. It can't just be Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor.
No,
let's be honest.
And the biggest thing, another thing the Mets need to do as well is they need to start restocking quickly their AAA pitching, because you have Max Scherzer is going to be 39 next year. He's not getting any younger. He was on the IL twice this year. You have to have enough starting pitching, knowing that your ace is 39 years old, to be able to get through those patches where if he misses a month, you have somebody that can take those starts.
Seth Lugo going back to starting pitching, Billy.
No, never. That ship has sailed. I don't even know if Seth Lugo will be back in the Met bullpen next year. Let alone the Mets starting. He's not going to.
Well, Fish, 100. Listen, if Alvarez is not your starting catcher next year, something is wrong. Just put him in.
You got. I mean, I don't know how you're going to get rid of McCann contract. You may just have to ride that out with him as your backup catcher and deal with it. I don't know, which would be pretty crazy if you have to do that, and you're getting rid of Nito, who could be a Gold Glove after the season's over.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know. But Billy, as far as Yankee stuff goes, real quick, as a diehard New York Yankee fan, I'm okay with trading Gleyber Torres. We're not going to get rid of Donaldson's contract. We're not getting rid of Stanton's contract.
I mean, for 1 year with Donaldson, it's not the craziest thing to do. If you're giving somebody what they want. I mean, look, they got the Yankees to do it because the Yankees wanted IKF. And the Yankees wanted to get rid of Gary Sanchez. It's humanly possible for one season. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'd love to do it, and I think, regardless of what they may say publicly, there's no way they're not going to try.
Right.
I don't believe it's going to happen, but they're going to try. And the best thing is with that is they could slide Oswaldo Cabrera and DJ LeMahieu can handle third base for the year, and we'll be just fine. DJ LeMahieu is a great glove wherever you put him. I mean, he's getting up there in age a little. He's starting to lose a little of the range at second base, but I have no qualms with DJ LeMahieu at first or third base at all.
Yeah. Right. Agreed.
But I mean, like you said, the Yankees, I laid it out and I can't lay it. The Yankees just need to get better. You gotta turn the middle infield over to these kids next year. You gotta let it play out. You gotta, that's the type of move you make. And if it's going that bad during the year, the trade deadline, bring in a second baseman. Okay. I get, hey, we gave him 250 at bats, and he's just like, he needs more season. We gave him 200 at bats, we sent him back, and now Cabrera filled in, and now we're upgrading the position at the trade deadline. Okay. Yeah. You got to remember something. AL East is getting better. We had 3 playoff teams out of that division this year. The Toronto Blue Jays will be a better team this year than they were next year than they were this year.
Wait, they get James Robinson? Who'd they get? Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but I'm assuming it can't be Etienne. There's no way they're trading him.
Something just came up on my phone. James Robinson is being traded to the Jets.
Wow.
Draft pick compensation.
Wow, James Robinson to the Jets.
Yep.
No faith in Michael Carter, huh, guys? All right.
But like I was just saying, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to be better in 2023 than they were this year. The Rays, never count the Rays out. The Rays are always there. The Rays are a good team. The Rays are always going to be a solid team. I believe the Red Sox are going to be better than they were this year. And what team played better in the second half than the Baltimore Orioles? Let's be real. That division is almost better.
Yeah. And if Chris Sale comes back, let's not forget about that.
You got to look at Sale the same way these Met fans are looking at DeGrom, Lou. I mean, you can't count on Chris Sale at all. Anything you get from him is a bonus. I may look at putting him in the bullpen, making him the closer. Remember, he started his career as a closer.
He did. Bill, I think he stays a Red Sox.
I think so too. It makes the Red Sox are going to spend money this year. I mean, they're gonna be in on just about anybody.
The JD Martinez contract is almost up. The Chris Sale contract is almost up. You really don't, and you still have. I don't even. Did they sign Rafael Devers to a big contract?
No, he hasn't signed yet. They got to sign. I think Bogarts goes back there. The only way I think Bogarts might not go back there is if the Dodgers blow him away after they lose Trey Turner.
Yeah, that's possible. They did it with Hanley Ramirez. So
yeah, I mean, it is definitely possible that could happen because I mean they lose Trey Turner, they're gonna have to replace the shortstop, and I wouldn't rule it out.
I would love Rafael Devers at Yankee Stadium.
I'd be shocked. If they lost Turner and didn't turn around and sign Correa or Bogarts. I really would be shocked if that happened because, like we said, they print money somewhere in Chavez Ravine Field.
Right.
But Lou, we just want to see the team get better, man. I can't.
Billy, I just want to be able to say that the Yankees. Listen, this has been before we end the show. In the overall performance of this year for the New York Yankees, this has been one of the most up and down seasons I think I've ever experienced as a New York Yankee. To start this season not knowing what to expect, to think that our original picks were that the Toronto Blue Jays were going. You said the Chicago White Sox, the Toronto Blue Jays. We both said we're going to win the division, right? And the Yankees wound up going to a 60 and 20 something team, to going below 500, to losing a 15 game lead to 3.5, making it back up to 10, winning the division series, and then getting swept against Houston. It's probably been one of the most up and down seasons as a New York Yankees fan that I've experienced in a long time. And listen, last year when they made the wild card team, I knew they weren't going anywhere with that team. When the Yankees are 60 and 28, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, we might actually have a chance to win this whole thing. And then they get dropped down literally within 3 days because they play like absolute dog shit. It's been a very interesting year, to say the least, as a Yankee and a Mets fan. And I think we can all say that most of us here thought that a championship might have been coming home to New York this year.
Absolutely. But, I mean, the Met roster is going to look substantially different next year. Yeah. That's number one. There are, like I said, you may see 12 out of the 13 guys on the pitching staff might be different next year. It might be Max Scherzer and 12 new pitchers.
Right.
And that's serious. You may have a new center fielder. There's going to be a lot of change there. The Yankees are a little more limited to the change they can make. And the Yankees don't have to make drastic change. They have to make the moves that make them a better team. They have to stop talking about player development and let the players actually develop. Bring these guys up and let them play.
Right. 1 year from now, who goes further? Bill. On paper right now, the Mets have like a total of 17 players.
Bill, I
can't answer that.
I can't objectively answer that question when the Mets don't have a starting rotation or bullpen on the contract.
Wait until before the season starts. I'll answer that for you.
Ask me that question. Ask me that question around New Year's when free agency is starting to take shape. I could probably give you some sort of a guesstimate answer then. But right now, the Mets have no rotation. I can't sit here and guess what 12 pitchers are filling out that team and who's playing center field.
Bill, right now I'm the fourth starting pitcher for the New York Mets because they don't have anybody. You know what I mean? Gut feeling right now?
Gut feeling? Honestly, I'm going with the Yankees. I'm going with the Yankees, and you know why? Because
I think the Mets are losing too much.
I know what the Yankees have there, and to me, the devil I know is better than the unknown. Replacing 4 starting pitchers in one offseason is very difficult, and you're talking about to be better than a team that won a division this year. You got to pretty much hit on all of them.
Yeah. You know, Steven, I don't know if it's that we're overthinking it. I think it's that you got to understand something as a New York Yankee fan. In the last 6 years, we've lost to the Houston Astros 3 out of 6 of those years in the ALCS to them, right? There's obviously something that we're missing that they have. Simple as that.
Steven, the Yankees are not the better team right now. DJ, we're going 2 more games. We've lost to 3 different renditions of the Houston Astros. 2017, 2019, and this year. We've lost it. We can't get past it like this. We have to get guys that put the ball in play. We have to get guys that take pitches. We have to make their pitches work. You have to guys that are aggressive on the base path, and you need heart. Go back right now. Google anything you want and look at all the dejection in that Yankee dugout.
Yeah.
You know,
and Bill, you want to know why you have more faith in Cohen than anybody else? Because who does Steve Cohen remind you of? George Steinbrenner. He's George Steinbrenner in a different body, in my opinion, anyway. He wants to win. He wants to win championships. He's willing to do whatever he has to win championships. He built up a farm system in the 90s. He got rid of Buck Showalter after they built up a whole farm system for him in the 90s because he felt he wasn't the right move and got Joe Torre and they won 4 out of 5 years. Steve Cohen is a younger rendition of George Steinbrenner, in my opinion. He wants to win. Simple as that.
Let me tell you something. Everybody wants to win. There is
not the Oakland Athletics.
Let me finish. There is not an owner in New York sports that does not want to win. And that includes that idiot Woody Johnson in Floral Park. There is not an owner here that doesn't want to win. They all do. You sometimes have to look at it and say, you got to get back to basics. And that's what the Yankees need to do this offseason. The Mets need to continue to build on the chemistry they built this year, and the Yankees need to get back to basics.
Steven, here's the thing, though. You have to change something, though, because you'll never get past the Astros in the playoffs. You will never get past them.
Steven, making 3 positional changes on a 26-man roster is not revamping a team. It's making improvements. Look at the Astros right now. The Astros had a whole new outfield this year. You know, they lost Michael Brantley. Jordan Alvarez had to go play the outfield full time. Tucker was McCormick. They had a new center fielder. Tucker's the only returning outfielder. 2 of the 3 outfielders from last year are different. That's what happened. They have a new shortstop. They have a new catch. Christian Vasquez came in catching with Maldonado. It's revamping. Every year, if you're not working on, if you become content with just getting there, and no, that you're going to end up like the Yankees and you're not going to make any progress, because that's the biggest thing. We're all here to make progress. Would you want to be in the same position and work you were 10 years ago? No, you want to make progress.
But Steven, what does getting 2 wins in the ALCS get us?
How about this?
We still go home.
Stop. I'll go even better here. Where was DJ LeMahieu playing? How about that?
Third.
I don't know if they're automatically sitting Donaldson. I can't answer that. He wasn't DHing. He wasn't playing first, and he wasn't playing second. Nobody can say you guarantee he was playing every game over Josh Donaldson. DJ LeMahieu, because of Gleyber Torres' late year streak, where Gleyber Torres was the best hitter on the Yankees for a good 5-6 weeks, Gleyber Torres is your second baseman. DJ LeMahieu didn't have an everyday position. So to say he would have made that much of a difference this season, as much as I love DJ LeMahieu, I can't guarantee that, because the blind loyalty they had to Josh Donaldson, I don't know if they would have benched him.
And that's another reason why I'm totally okay with getting rid of Gleyber Torres, because now you have a second base spot for DJ LeMahieu, in my opinion. Especially if we're doing what Billy said, we're using all the young guys this year, right? You can have DJ go to second or first. You don't have to have him at third. Just put Donaldson and not Volpity, Cabrera over there. Cabrera could play third.
Peraza. I mean, they need to figure out. They were determined to hold on to Peraza and Volpe. We need to see what they're going to do with the 2 of them together.
Right.
Because there has to be some sort of plan, whether it's at second or third base. I mean, the one thing we're clear it's not is the outfield, because they would have been here. The one they wanted for the outfield would have been here already, playing the outfield in the postseason. And I've heard nothing of either of them playing the outfield in the minor leagues.
And not for nothing, I thought Andujar would have been on this playoff roster too, and he got let go.
That's another guy that he played a season, was almost rookie of the year, got hurt the next year. Yes, you got Gio. I understand. Gio Urshela was good for the Yankees. He was. But you never gave Andujar a full shot after that. You never gave Andujar 15, 20 games to go out there and show that he was back. No, he played 4, maybe 5 games, and that was it. And it was always, all right, back to the minor leagues. Before this year, it's back. Oh, no, you're not playing left field. Oh, you played left field for 4 games? Oh, you're on the bench for the next 3 because Brett Gardner's back.
Right. Yep. Very true.
That's why I say the most important thing is not players.
Stop.
It's H.
Stop.
Bill, I have no problem getting rid of anyone in this organization right now. Show me how and who makes it better.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Steven, I am not praising Josh Donaldson. I am telling you the reality that the Yankees refused to take him out of the lineup for whatever reason none of us know.
Yep.
That is my point. I am not praising him at all. He deserves no praise whatsoever. If someone would take Josh Donaldson, I will go drive him to whatever team friggin' wants him. But the reality is he was kept in the lineup and was always going to be.
Yep. All right, Billy, any less words before we end this show today?
Guys, we're going to take a couple of weeks off. Enjoy the World Series. We will be back to you with a new Baseball Power Hour to go over what should be a little more in-depth look at the baseball offseason and what to expect in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so obviously when the offseason starts, we're going to be on here, but obviously there's no baseball. So we're just going to do our football show every Sundays at 9 o'clock. So please be there to talk football with us. I'll make sure I don't oversleep.
To remember to wake up this Sunday.
I promise to remember to wake up so that way Chet doesn't have to do the show in his underwear, and we'll be fine. And then we'll go from there. But anyways, guys, Billy and I want to thank you guys for being a tremendous fan support over these last few months. We've done the show basically since the beginning of the baseball season. We've had over 26 episodes. That's over 6 months worth of information that we want to give to you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart of being a part of this with us. And Billy, I'm going to say it anyway. Let's go fucking Yankees, bro. I'm a little upset, but I want the Phillies to shove it in the Astros' ass, and I want Bryce Harper to get his ring. I want to see a revamped Yankee team of people who are going to do role protection. I'm excited for the offseason, Billy. That's all I'm going to say.
Guys, have a great one. It's just getting started. We're going to have a crazy offseason. There's going to be a lot of movement. We'll be here with you every step of the way. Enjoy your week. Let's have fun watching the World Series if you're going to watch it.
Let's go Giants. The fucking Giants are 6-0. 6-1, Billy. The Giants are 6-1. And we'll talk more about that Sunday. So tune in Sunday, 9 o'clock.
And tune in tomorrow night to check out Boogie and the Boys, 8 p.m. Sports Talk. I'm sure somebody will be telling you the Knicks are good this year.
Exactly. You guys have a good rest of your day.